Broza, and this is Dmitri Zagdulin. We're here to talk about LiveScope companion intelligence and how we're integrating Solid into our 2021 alpha. What's the companion intelligence? Companion intelligence is an AI for you. It's powered by what we call a digital memory, your digital memory. It's a secure place to run machine learning on yourself, to actually train a machine learning model, do machine learning inference on yourself, and get a deep understanding of you, your behavior, really do predictions and suggestions on your life. It's a way of doing ubiquitous computing. So think of it, you can think of it as the next generation of personal assistants and recommendations. We already have a AI
Презентує наш клієнт в Бостонському університеті той продукт
But none of these are really properly useful recommendations.
на вебінарі.
They're silent. All this information is silent. You don't get a fully complete view of yourself. What we're trying to build is a total real ultimate goal is
Пройде цей семінар, не знаю, скільки він буде, півгодини. Я не знаю, півгодини, може більше. Можете в моїй машині мені взяти насос. Я ним не дуже користуюсь. Теж електричний.
System, the user
То давайте тоді зробимо таким чином. Я возьму твій, а цей піду залишу.
Є сірі куртці, ті сукняні, такі там в кишені мають бути ключі від машини. Там, а сам насос багажнику червоний, торбинка маленька.
Productivity and lifestyle. With good enough prediction, you can actually delegate tasks. They can act on your behalf. One of the long-term ultimate goals is to build a virtual digital twin. There's a hipster version, Pixar version of myself that I built chatbots and animation agents to actually mimic myself, kind of fun to play with. And then the ultimate benefit is just like Solid, this is all under your control and for your benefit. It's all powered by a fundamental idea we call the digital memory, which is an automatic, always up-to-date database of everywhere you go, everyone you know, everything physical in the world you own or interact with, all the digital content you create and consume. And then this is all recorded into an event stream. And with this, you can ask questions to your memory. Like, when was the last time I saw Oz and Tim? What did we talk about? Where was the last time I had Mexican food? Things like that. You can just query your own personal Google. We've spent the last 3-4 years connecting devices and services and the web browsers to power and build your digital memory. But we're now actually taking the next step, which is using computer vision and more complex data, especially biodata, to fill up your digital memory. And this is an example of that. We call this live stream capture. It's a website that's essentially a super recorder. So you go to livescope.io/capture. You say, I want to collect sound and video. I want to record a transcript. But you can actually do more than that. You can run computer vision in the browser that will track your face, track your body. How did I move? When did I pick up a glass of frozen coffee? Was I looking? How much did I look at the screen? Incredibly high fidelity data. This is just a list of the long list of all the different things that we can actually capture and record automatically in the browser. If you're interested, I can tell you exactly how this all breaks down, but it's pretty incredible what you can record. And we're actually well underway of building this capture technology, and we can show that off later.
Let me just interject for just a second. The browser is a shockingly good platform. Like when I started on this project, I did not realize it could do half of the biometric API stuff that Liam's mentioning.
And kicking it over to Dmitri, Now that we've created this giant honeypot of your of your digital memory, he's going to talk about how we're going to keep it safe. Yeah. So.
Right. So in this personal data space, you see a lot of the same story of like AI researchers or bioinformation, quantified self, bioinformation researchers of, all right, I've got this stream of incredible data coming in, and the more useful the data, the more vulnerable, the more personal, the more confidential it is. Where am I going to store it? Is it going to be at yet another random startup's MySQL database? Like, where are we actually going to put it? So the shape of the space of massive data streams of incredibly confidential data suggests a couple of requirements. So this is a rough list that we put together of these are the fundamental tech features that a companion AI needs. And a lot of this stuff will be familiar to you. So we need decentralized data storage to avoid the honeypot effect, to put all of those highly confidential data under the user's control. So we need high volume graph storage, we need high throughput binary storage for things like video and audio, images, and all sorts of things. We need to be able to structure that data both in graph and in document terms. We need to be able to do time series storage and queries. And because these sensors could be 24/7, like for personal, but also for enterprise, also for business companion AIs, it does need to be high throughput. You need to be able to have authorization under, or rather for all of that data. You need to have classical access controls, and you need to have capabilities. Of course, that data needs to be encrypted client-side. A lot of that data needs to be signed using verifiable credentials for provenance and authorship proof. And then, of course, to train the AI, you need to be able to query it. And fundamentally powering it is lots and lots of ingest APIs, ETL being, export, transform, and load.
Enter, transform, load. Yeah.
Enter, thank you.
Data sync.
Data sync, but what does that mean? That means for each of these data feeds, like biometric, like social, like your GPS stream, you need third-party API adapters to translate to something like solid RDF, right? To a common format that the AI can train on, as opposed to all of the fragments. So we put together, for example, a rough outline of the layers needed to power the top-level AI infrastructure that we need for this companion intelligence. And again, we've all been working on this stuff for the last several years. A lot of this will be familiar to you, Solid users and people working on Solid, right? You have low-level storage services on the bottom. You have the layers of authorization, of authentication and access control. You have higher-level system services like linked data notifications for inboxes, like it would be great to translate your Twitter feed and Facebook feed and all the social media into linked data compatible formats like activity streams, for example. And you want to be able to translate your contacts into a solid compatible vCard linked data. To enable encryption of that data, to enable the verifiable credential, you need wallets and key management systems. You, of course, need to be able to juggle multiple different authentication and identity systems. And then you need the search tagging and time series querying on top of that, plus some other ecosystem-related layers. And I'm sure, like, for example, the data interop panel, Justin and company can tell you about this. So we've been building on the capabilities offered by the current Solid servers, and then we've been pulling in appropriate standards to complement that wherever possible. And so this gives you a quick idea on essentially the state of readiness and how heavy the lift is on all of these things. So, like, for example, we've had LDN notifications and like solid collection storage for a while. Some of the other stuff like replication and capability, link access control, still working on, and of course there's lots to work on, both on the AI, both on the UI, the AI training, and some of the ecosystem compatibility layers. I noticed we're getting a lot of questions in the chats about hey, links, and Liam can send out the various links and ways you can contribute.
But what you're noticing is this is incredibly ambitious, and we only have about half of it, half of what we need to actually execute on this goal. And you can see back here, just these are all color coded by the level of readiness we have in these components, and there's a lot of Lego blocks that go into it. And I'm happy to share all of this. So that gets us to the end, because we're racing for time. If you guys are interested in collaborating, come join our community Discord and our mailing list. We really came here because we want to integrate solid with verifiable credentials, distributed identifiers, and really build a killer ETL, a data sync layer. And we're going to build these as an ecosystem of modules over at LifeScope or wherever they're best hosted. LifeScope's here on, there's a link to us on GitHub. We're actually on tour right now. Solid, we went through rebooting.
Так рідко машиною тою їздити, на що вона осталася?
Розумієш, він на автоматі закривається зразу. Я багажник відкриваю тільки, вона сама
And then we're going to be
закривається.
going to some of the premier data mining and AI conferences. And
Зараз щось
showing you
ні, є
around,
майстер,
just trying
який
to find
відкриває,
people
ну
on all
то не
levels of the
дешево.
stack.
Ну
So
то що
if you're a
робити?
TensorFlow
То вона
engineer,
хай лишається тут.
Тут так,
want to view
відкриєш.
AI on top
Просто
of
там
LifeScope,
продукти і...
reach out to us as well.
То я його
We're a
через ніч на
501c3
інше з
now.
ними
Так,
нічого не
нічого не
станеться, а
станеться.
завтра я
Follow us on
майстра
social.
виключу.
Here's our
Вже сьогодні
email.
він не встигне.
How bad are we doing on time? We
Так
got
що то
4 or 5 minutes?
там заодно подивитися.
Добре, що мій не забули багато.
Let us know John tells us stop. So,
I was going to
Yeah.
say, if we can move to the next one because I'm seeing so many questions come up. I really want to make sure
sure.
we did.
Let's do the questions later. Keep going. So yeah, we're done for now. You get the idea. So, yeah.
Great.
So.
Well, thank you guys so much for that. That was super awesome. And like I said, we have the Q&A session later, so we can dedicate some more time for you guys to expound a little bit more on that. So again, thank you so much. It is so exciting to see how much is possible, and as well as it's exciting to see the engagement within the community of how much they want to contribute and learn more about this. So totally rewarding.
We're excited to be here.
Great. Well, we're glad to have you. I'm very glad. So next we have Dick Van Gelder from Korea Free, who will be presenting. And again, another person I'm so excited to see the presentation of. So over to you.
Thank you. Good evening or good morning, everyone. My name is Dick Van Gelder, and I'm very proud to be hosted on this show. I would like to share my screen. Just hold on. So today we're going to talk about Korea